Hey everyone, so you're thinking about leveling up your handheld gaming, huh?
Seems like it.
Well, you're in luck.
Yeah.
We've got two top contenders in the ring today.
That's right. The ROG Ally X and the Steam Deck OLED.
Both are amazing machines, but they each have their own strengths and weaknesses.
It's true, they really cater to different kinds of gamers.
Exactly. So today, we're going to take a deep dive into what makes each of these devices tick.
We're going to break it all down for you.
Help you decide which one's right for you.
Exactly. Are you all about raw power?
Or do you crave those stunning visuals?
By the end of this deep dive, you'll know exactly which device deserves a spot in your pocket.
So let's kick things off with the ROG Ally X.
All right, let's talk power.
This thing is a beast. We're talking AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor,
Whoa,
24 gigs of RAM,
no way.
and a 1 terabyte SSD.
That's insane.
It's like they crammed a whole desktop gaming rig into this tiny handheld device.
You're not kidding. That SSD alone is a game changer.
Oh yeah, no more staring at loading screens with that thing.
Nope. Games will load up in a blink.
And get this, 120 hertz refresh rate on that 7-inch screen.
Oh, wow.
You're gonna experience butter smooth gameplay.
Especially in those fast-paced action games.
Absolutely, every frame is gonna be crystal clear.
That's going to feel so responsive.
But of course, all this power comes at a cost.
Yeah, there's always a trade-off, isn't there?
Battery life.
Yes, the eternal struggle.
They did improve it compared to the original Ally.
That's good.
But if you're pushing the Ally X to its limits,
Yeah.
you're probably looking at around 3 hours of playtime.
Okay, so maybe not the best choice for those long flights.
Right, you might want to pack a charger for those.
Makes sense.
But, you know, for shorter bursts of gaming, it's not a deal breaker.
Definitely not.
Now let's talk about the Windows 11 situation.
Okay, Windows on a handheld. Interesting.
Some people might wonder why this is such a big deal,
Yeah, I can see that.
but it actually opens up a ton of possibilities.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
We're not just talking about playing games from any platform you can imagine.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Steam, Epic, GOG.
Nice.
You can even use it for things like browsing the web or checking email.
So it's kind of like a mini PC in your pocket.
Exactly. You could even do some light work on it if you needed to.
I've actually heard of people using it for photo editing on the go.
Yeah, there are some powerful apps that you can run on it.
It's pretty amazing what they can do with these handheld these days.
But there is a downside.
Uh-oh. What's the catch?
Well, navigating Windows on a handheld device can be a bit tricky.
I can imagine.
Remember trying to type on those tiny phone screens back in the day?
Oh, yeah, that was a nightmare.
It's kind of like that.
So not the most user-friendly experience.
Not always, but they are making improvements.
Makes sense.
So the Ally X is definitely geared towards a specific type of gamer.
I can see that.
Someone who's tech-savvy, enjoys tinkering with settings, and wants that flexibility of Windows.
Right, someone who sees it as more than just a gaming machine.
All right, now let's shift gears and talk about the Steam Deck OLED.
Okay, bring on the visual.
This one is all about that gorgeous 7.4-inch OLED screen.
I've heard good things about it.
It's a total game changer.
What's so special about it?
Just imagine colors that are so vibrant and blacks that are so deep.
Wow.
It makes everything just pop.
Really?
It's like the difference between watching a movie on an old TV and then seeing it in a high-end theater.
Okay, I'm starting to get it.
And it's not just about the numbers.
What do you know?
The OLED technology itself just brings something special to the table,
Interesting.
especially when you're playing games that support HDR.
Right.
The colors and the light just leap off the screen.
I bet it looks incredible.
Imagine playing Cyberpunk 2077 on this thing.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Those neon-drenched streets and those intricate character designs, all rendered in stunning detail.
It'd be a visual feast.
Now, it might not have the 120 hertz refresh rate of the Ally X,
Right.
but it still has a very respectable 90 hertz.
That's still really good.
And the pixel response time of the OLED is so fast,
Oh, yeah.
it makes those fast-moving scenes incredibly crisp and clear.
Okay, so you still get that smooth and responsive feel.
Absolutely, you're not going to be disappointed.
I'm impressed.
But here's where the Steam Deck OLED really shines.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Battery life.
Ah, yes, the holy grail of handheld gaming.
Thanks to a new AMD APU.
Okay.
You know, that's the heart of the system that combines the processor and the graphics.
Right,
And a
right.
larger battery.
Right.
You're looking at a massive improvement over the original Steam Deck.
How much of an improvement are we talking about?
We're talking 40 to 60% more playtime.
Roll.
For those of you who are always on the move, That extra battery life is a game changer.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You can actually get a solid gaming session in before needing to hunt down an outlet.
Exactly. You can game on the go without that constant worry about your battery dying.
That's a huge plus.
And the whole Steam Deck experience is designed to be streamlined and hassle-free.
I like the sound of that.
Thousands of games are already verified to work perfectly on SteamOS.
SteamOS.
Yeah, that's the operating system designed specifically for the Steam Deck.
Okay, I see.
No driver issues, no compatibility headaches, just pure pick-up-and-play enjoyment.
So it just works.
It just works.
I like it.
So we've got two amazing contenders here,
They both sound pretty awesome.
each with its own unique strengths.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to choose.
I know, right?
So how do we decide?
Well, let's take a closer look at what might be the biggest difference between these two.
You mean?
The software.
Ah, right. The brains of the operation.
The ROG Ally X runs on Windows 11,
Okay, standard for PCs.
but the Steam Deck uses something called SteamOS.
SteamOS. I was familiar with that one.
And you may be thinking,
Yeah,
isn't Windows what most PCs use? What's so special about this SteamOS thing?
that's a good question.
It all comes down to what each device is trying to achieve.
Okay, I'm listening.
SteamOS is designed specifically for gaming.
Ah, so it's like a console experience.
Exactly. But tailored for PC games.
Interesting. So less about doing everything a PC can and more about a streamlined gaming experience.
You got it. It boots up quickly, the interface is super intuitive,
Nice.
and you have instant access to your entire Steam library.
Sounds pretty convenient.
It really is. It's designed to just work.
No messing around with settings or anything.
No need, no tinkering, no troubleshooting.
That's a big plus for some people.
But I know what some of you are thinking.
What about games that aren't on Steam?
You're right. What about all those great games on other platforms?
Yeah.
Epic Game Store, GOG, even Xbox Game Pass.
Good point. Does SteamOS handle those?
Well, the Steam Deck has a secret weapon.
Oh. Tell me more.
It's called Proton.
Proton.
It's a compatibility layer that lets you play a lot of Windows games
Wait, on SteamOS?
directly on SteamOS.
Yeah.
No need to install Windows at all.
And that's impressive.
And it's incredibly successful.
So a lot of games work with this Proton thing.
Thousands of them are already verified.
Mm-hmm.
And that number's growing all the time.
So even if a game isn't officially on Steam,
There's a good chance you can still play it.
wow, that's really cool.
So the Steam Deck gives you that curated console-like experience.
You just jump in and play. No fuss.
But what about when you need to do more than just game?
Oh, right. Like what?
Browse the web, watch some videos.
Maybe even get a little work done?
Exactly. Isn't the Ally X with its full Windows operating system better for that?
It does seem like you'd have more flexibility with the Ally X.
You can install whatever applications you need.
It basically turns into a mini PC whenever you want.
Pretty much. It's for that user who wants a device that can handle a lot more than gaming.
So many options.
It really comes down to how you envision using the device.
Right. Primarily for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Or something more versatile.
And let's not forget about the feel of each device.
Oh, yeah. Comfort is key. You'll be holding these things for hours.
The Ally X has gone through some serious ergonomic refinements.
What do they change?
Sculpted grips, redesigned buttons.
All to make those long gaming sessions more comfortable.
Exactly. Comfort is so important, but often overlooked.
I agree. If it's not comfortable to hold, it doesn't matter how powerful it is.
And while the Steam Deck might not have the same level of ergonomic refinement...
It does have those back buttons.
You mean those paddles on the back?
Yeah, those. A lot of gamers love them.
What's so special about those?
You can map them to any button or function.
Really?
Like having extra fingers, you can keep your thumbs on the joysticks.
And still have access to other controls.
Exactly. Adds another layer of customization.
Especially for those hardcore gamers.
The ones who love to tweak their setup, yeah, it can make a big difference.
Okay, let's talk sound.
Right.
Both devices have built-in speakers. But let's be real.
Headphones are the way to go.
For the best audio experience. And luckily, both the Ally X and Steam Deck have headphone jacks.
Standard ones.
Yep. Use your favorite pair, no adapters needed.
That's always good.
Speaking of connectivity, you mentioned the Steam Deck OLED has Wi-Fi 6E.
Right.
For those who might not know, what's the big deal about Wi-Fi 6E?
Well, it allows for faster downloads and smoother online gameplay.
Important for gaming, right?
Absolutely. Less lag.
So if you download a lot of games or play online a lot.
Having that Wi-Fi 6E support can make a real difference.
And it's not just about speed either.
No.
Wi-Fi 6E is also more stable.
Oh, okay.
Less likely to experience those frustrating lag spikes.
Those are the worst.
Or disconnections in the middle of a game.
Ugh, yeah. That can ruin a whole session.
Now, one last thing to consider.
What's that?
Game availability.
Right.
Obviously, the Steam Deck is tied to the Steam library.
Massive library.
But with the Ally X, you have Windows flexibility.
So access to pretty much every game out there.
Technically, yes, but there's a catch.
There's always a catch. What is it this time?
With Windows, sometimes you run into compatibility issues.
Oh, right.
You might have to fiddle with drivers, troubleshoot errors,
Not fun.
maybe even deal with crashes.
So it's a trade-off.
Yeah. The Ally X gives you access to more games.
But
It might take a little extra effort to get some of them running.
whereas with the Steam Deck,
Everything should just work smoothly.
no worries.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked specs, we've talked software, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to...
The games.
Exactly. And what's so interesting is
Yeah.
how the device you choose can actually shape your experience of a game.
I can see that. How so?
It's not just about the graphics, it's about how it feels to play.
Ah, I see what you mean.
So let's put ourselves in the game, shall we?
Okay, I'm game.
Let's say you're a big fan of open-world RPGs.
I call them
The Witcher 3,
classic.
Elden Ring.
Love that game.
Imagine exploring those worlds on the Steam Deck OLED.
Oh, wow.
Those landscapes,
Yeah.
those character models,
Yeah.
they would just pop with that OLED richness.
That would be pretty amazing.
But on the Ally X,
You could.
you could crank up the settings,
Okay,
ultra push the resolution, the frame rate.
Okay, so you'd get a different kind of immersion.
Right. One that focuses on pure visual power.
So it's almost like choosing between
Yeah.
two different art styles.
For the same thing.
Being, like, do you want that hyper-realistic, almost photorealistic experience?
Right.
Or something that's a bit more stylized, a bit more vibrant?
Now let's switch gears to something faster pace.
Okay.
Like Doom Eternal
Oh, yeah?
with the Ally X and that 120 hertz refresh rate. Every twitch of the joystick,
I see
every
that.
shotgun blast would feel
So smooth.
incredibly smooth and responsive.
You'd have that competitive edge.
For sure.
But even at 90 hertz, the Steam Deck OLED.
Wouldn't exactly be a slouch.
True.
Yeah,
Especially with that fast pixel response time.
exactly.
No motion blur, just pure action.
Choosing the right device
It's not.
isn't just about checking off boxes on a spec sheet.
It's about how those specs actually translate to the game.
You got it.
Makes sense.
And of course, we can't forget about those epic gaming sessions.
The ones that last for hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Comfort is key.
It's like choosing the right gaming chair.
Right. You want something that feels good in your hands, especially after hours of playing.
Totally.
Think about how each device feels.
No.
Weight distribution, the button placement.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel natural, or
Right.
does it start to feel awkward after a while?
It's so personal too, right? What feels comfortable for one person?
Might not for another.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into high-powered handheld gaming,
I'm gonna miss it.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
The best device for you
It's the one that...
isn't the one with the most impressive specs
Oh.
or the longest list of features.
Okay.
It's the one that fits your gaming style and priorities.
Ah, I see.
Think about the games you love, the experiences you crave.
How you like to play.
What matters most to you?
Is it visual fidelity? Performance?
Battery life? Or even that flexibility to do more than just game?
So many things to consider.
Let those answers be your guide.
Trust your gut.
Because at the end of the day,
Yeah,
the best handheld gaming device is the one that brings you the most joy.
I like that.
And with two incredible machines like the ROG Ally X and the Steam Deck OLED,
You really can't go wrong.
happy gaming, everyone! We'll catch you on the next deep dive.